Open, please.
Open, please.
Today we have gathered here to worship Shri Lakshmi. In Diwali in India, they worship Lakshmi because a great Rakshasa called Narakasura was killed. Also, that Lakshmi came out of the sea. At the same time, long time, I should say, this is like her different appearances on the same occasion. Lakshmi is the goddess which gives us wealth, gives us prosperity. She is very blissful, no doubt. She gives you protection, and also she is very humble because she stands on the lotus. She is very light, means does not put her pressure on anyone. These are symbols of Sri Lakshmi. But also she is a part of Mahamaya in the modern times. When people get Lakshmi, the money, they don't understand that she is their mother. And she is to be respected. When this kind of a perverse idea of Sri Lakshmi comes in, such countries, such people meet their last end. And destruction of the worst type. So this Lakshmi has to be used with a big balance, like standing on a lotus, and not get into the pond where there are all kind of creatures to eat you all. You have to stand on the lotus. That means that you are above all the lures of this Maya. Also in Sanskrit and in our languages, we call Lakshmi as the Maya. If somebody gets a lot of money, they will say, he got a lot of Maya. Now this Maya plays the tricks. If money, prosperity was the salvation, then there would have been no problems in this. Because those people who have money always get ruined. If they are not ruined, their children, their grandchildren get ruined. This principle of Lakshmi within us is very dubious. And the allurement is so much that people see somebody having a good car these days, they think, what a man is. In any case, he's not going to give you the car. If somebody is having lots of what you can call palaces or buildings, people start admiring. This is Kali Yuga. They start admiring. See, this man is so rich. Even clothes. People see you wearing clothes which are very good tailored, might be from some designers, say. They think no end of that man. For example, in England, there is another befooling place called Savile Row. So if you want to buy one suit, you have to pay sometimes £3,000. Now, people are so stupid that now if they wear a suit from Savile Row, they put the brand outside, Savile Row. All such tomfoolery is going on all over the world. The clothes have no meaning, their lifestyle has no meaning. Ultimately, they end up in Swiss bank. The Lakshmi Tattva of Swiss bank is also now showing its teeth. And if you read what's happening to them, I mean, they are shaking. They don't know. They went to this limit that they took. The teeth, golden teeth of the Jews. I mean, it's going too far. All this tomfoolery has been going on. Their military services, why? Who's going to conquer that country? Even Napoleon didn't do that. And they have made big caves to keep their weapons there. Who's going to attack them? Stupid people. Suffering from ego. But the attack has come. And this attack is so serious that they might be completely shattered and destroyed. Now, who falls for this kind of thing, you should see, are the people who are crooks, who are dishonest, who are absolutely adharmis. They can be mafia dons, or they can be some thugs, some black marketeers, some smugglers. So going against the Lakshmi principle are so many done these days. One fellow who was thrown out of surgery because he was trying to be very dominating. He said, that's better. I said, why? He's doing now smuggling, making money out of smuggling, and he's become very rich according to him. But it comes to an end, and a very tragic, bad end. Money is such a lure for human beings that it kills all sense of decency, of higher values, everything. A brother, say, who is very nice and good fellow, if he gets money out of proportion by outdoing the hanky-panky, he neglects his mother, father, brothers, sisters, everything. So I would say then it comes to that point that Lakshmi ji becomes a bhoot then. And she, all her blessings become sort of a challenge to your dignity. Now certain countries, like America, which is the area for Shri Krishna, because he's Kubera, they have no money as such. I've seen they're all poor, they're all indebted. So many Indians went to America and they can't come to India now. Why? We are indebted. Why are you indebted? Oh, we get everything free now. You see, the bank gives us loan. We can have the best lifestyle. So they will have 3 Mercedes is nothing. 3 Mercedes is nothing. You should have Rolls Royces. You should have this. For what? What do you get out of it? Now, of course, little bit they're shaken up with the stock exchange and all that nonsense. They had started all this joke and all these very big, camouflages. All now are coming out. So this is no Lakshmi, because Lakshmi must give you dignity, prosperity and respect. I think Americans understood about it, so they become philanthropists, means they are giving money to people. Whom did they give money? All the names these people took from South Africa were all given money by the philanthropist of America. What has happened to their wisdom? That 16-year-old boy, he went there, and then all ages went there and made a very big money. All this money-making proposition, can you give some seat to those musicians? Baba, ikde aa, basa ikde aa, basa. इकडे आहे जागा समोर. बसा. मलाही उशीर केला आणि स्वतःही उशिराने आला. बसा बसा बसा. हां. So what is the matter? If there's a blessing of Lakshmi, why a man who gets the blessing of Lakshmi becomes so funny, so stupid, and ultimately ends up his life that people are not there even to pick up his dead body? Shawl de mala zara. What is the difference between money and Lakshmi? She gives you money, all right, agreed. But when she is giving the money, what happens to that money which comes to you? It's a very subtle thing one should understand. In India, if you give, say, 100 rupees to a servant, immediately he'll go to drink somewhere. First idea will come, what he should do, he'll go for a drink of the hard ones. I mean, your vodka is nowhere near that. Such hard ones they make in India, you know. It is called as hath batti, means made with hands. So in 100 rupees, they are willing to go. I mean, that means any money you give to them, it spoils their life completely. Lakshmi has been given, all right, so what happens to this Lakshmi? She changes her form. And her form is so bad that you are completely ruined with that. So now we have to understand what is the way we can use the Lakshmi. Supposing I get money, suppose. Then I will go to the market, say, and I'll see something nice. This is very good for this surgery. Or I will say, this will be very handy for our ashram. immediately the mind starts working in a very socialistic way, I should say, not individualistic. For example, I went to Rajasthan and I saw such a lot of sand, just like a big desert with dunes and people starving. So I said, how to get money to these people? So I said, let me start a factory. Factory with the unbreakable glass, which they make only in France. They make it very cheap and regard it as very cheap thing. Not in India. In India, if you go to some elite's house, they'll offer you tea in these unbreakable things. They think it's very elite. It depends on what you think about what. I'm very proud of it. So I said, if we make these things in India, these poor people, because there's so much sand, and sand is needed by trucks. So I will utilize this to make this beautiful factory here. And then give them some support to live well. Now when I went to one place called Varna, you all had come also once. There's a gentleman who was a disciple of Gandhiji. And he's organized this Varna company for distributing milk. It became so very rich, it's a cooperative. So he started giving money to all the cooperative people, those who had labor there. Now this labor had never seen that money. So he came to me, touched my feet and he said, Mother, you tell me now, what should I do? I'm so unhappy with the development of this Varna because there are prostitutes who have arrived from Bombay. There are all kinds of hard drinks which have come from Bombay. And these people are smoking like hell. They are taking drugs, right? Yes. Wherever there is money, the drug goes there. And the children are becoming absolutely useless. They don't want to study. They even slap their parents. She said, this was not Gandhiji's ideal. Now what has happened? He says, this is a curse of money. And he was crying. Now, how can Lakshmi become a curse? It does. It is in the Navi. What a central position it has. And when this Navi starts working, it is a very remarkable thing that you feel gobbling the food all the time with this Navi. I mean, you go on eating like mad. And then some booth comes in to eat also with you, inside the Navi. Then you can eat so much that no human beings can eat like that except for the people who are rich. Then you start a big science, or what you can call etiquettes. I don't want to hurt anybody. I mean, if you are eating well, I don't mind. Eat well. But the first part is, because today is Diwali, I am trying to tell you all these interesting stories. I went many a times for dinner with French diplomats. My goodness. Now me and my husband don't drink. So 45 minutes they were only discussing what they will have today. Then they remembered yesterday they had that, day before they had that. So there should be variety. So then they came down to something. Not all of them drinking the same, different. So they came to some point. All right, we'll have this. But some people asked for something which was not available. So they said, you have to have it. And they shouted at them. My goodness. They took 45 minutes to decide what they are going to do. It's regarded as French etiquette, sir. And we took chief guests, myself and my husband, looking at this man and looking at that woman, didn't know what to do with this etiquette, so we were thinking now better go. Then came to food. They are so particular. I like this and I like that. They are worse than Indians, I think. And they took at least 80 minutes to decide what they will eat. Ultimately, they found something nice, each different. And the restaurant people were trying to pamper their ego. Oh, what a thing you have chosen. This is the blah, blah, blah. So, they started serving. The cheese was smelling so awful, I tell you. We couldn't bear it, both of us. So my husband told them, today is our fasting day for both of us. He said, why is it a fasting day? I say, in India we have, fasting like this, sometimes we have to fast. Today is our. But I told him, here one day you are saying today is our fasting, but we have to go to so many dinners, what will you do? He said, everywhere better to say that we are fasting. Such a horrible cheese they brought. And they started boasting that they have 2,000 or 200 types of cheese. So 200 types of the smelly ones, from where did you get? They said this is French perfection. Jeez. I said, what is this French perfection? But then, tears came into my eyes. Sippy said, why are you crying? Not crying, but I think, what will happen to these people with their cheese? Where will they go? Even if they go to hell, people will throw them away with the smell of the cheese. Then I read how this cheese came in. So they said there was a big snowfall and they had put some big containers in a cave of milk. And people forgot about it. Snowfall was there for 20 days, whatever it was. And they just forgot about it. So after 1 year, they got the smell, coming out of it. So they went and saw the cheese being formed. Can you imagine? This is the beginning of the end. Actually, one should never eat anything that is kept overnight, normally. But now they have got fridges, so you can keep it for 2 days, 3 days at the most. Like on the ship they keep it. But this I couldn't understand, that this cheese, which is, they told me, is very old. I said, really? And they sell it by that, what old it is. And their wines, if they are, say, 200-year-old, it is 200 times more expensive. So it's such a bhutish thing to eat all that. So when the Lakshmi goes into the hands of bhoots, on a very less level I should say, is this, then it goes into the heads of people who want to exploit money, exploit poor people, exploit countries which are downtrodden. Go on like this, collecting money, looting. When English came to India, we didn't know they used to take bribes. On Diwali day, if you went there without any present, there's a bakshish, you must give some present. And what they liked was our country liquor. I never knew this. But later on I came to know because my husband became a collector of merit. And there were bottles of country liquors kept in that house. That house was itself more than 100-year-old. Long time back it was kept there still, some of them, you see. And we could have sent them to England to sell, it would have been a good idea. So, the older it is, it's better. This Lakshmi, I think, becomes old and dies, and there is a Lakshmi. A Lakshmi means when you have money and you don't have the qualities of a person who should have money. In that quality of a Lakshmi, you become very miserly. You don't even want to help your brothers and sisters. You don't want to give any money to anyone. And even if you give it to false gurus and wrong things. This is up to, we can say, is a Lakshmi. The behavior becomes very arrogant. So arrogant that you behave like horses, People look like horses. They walk like horses. But I don't know if the horses have ego. If you see these people, you just don't understand what's gone wrong with them, you see. There is one gentleman who started an aeroplane business in India. I won't take his name, but say some Majidia or something. My granddaughter met him with my grandson-in-law. And they were walking like this, talking like this. They can't understand these two persons. So they came and talked to them, who you are and all. And then they said, we are this Majidia. So my granddaughter said, who is Majidia? My goodness, they fell from heavens. You don't know who are Majidiyas? Do you read newspapers or not? Then her husband came in. He said, I do. Now what do you want to say? We are Majidiyas. He said, who are Majidiyas? You don't know? What sort of business you do? What is this? Such stupid things they did that these children felt that is no use having any business. If business means this kind of behavior, very indecent, very arrogant. They don't know how to relate to people. They don't. And after some time, I heard that their business was completely finished. Or the flop, they call it flop. So now, we have to realize that this Lakshmi, how it takes us to wrong things. Firstly, she makes you very egoistic. Somehow, the man who has money starts behaving like that. One cannot understand how a person who was normal suddenly becomes like this, starts talking like this. He might earn money even in the horse races. Around the Lakshmi is the valency of dharma. There is around the Lakshmi is the dharma. And this dharma, if you cross, that's the best place where they can cross the dharma. Then you can do whatever you like, which is adharmi, which is irreligious, which is hideous. You have to just cross that limit of dharma. You have to just deviate from dharma. Now, as I said many times, that there are 10 valencies human beings have got. But apart from that, there are many dharmas which are surrounding, like angels. Like first dharma is your love for humanity. Is the first dharma. But if you say from that end when you start, it starts with Shri dharma. Is the dharma of the woman. How she should live, how she should get married, how she should look after her children, what should be her behavior, all is Shri dharma. And then is Patni dharma, is the wife dharma. What should be her dharma? In her dharma she looks nice. If she gives up her dharma, then she is a prostitute. So then is Pati dharma. How should be a husband? How should he behave towards his family? How should he pay attention towards his wife? About the whole entire family, the whole, you can say, parivar as they call it, the whole, all the relations. That is his dharma. But beyond that is the dharma of Satya dharma. How much he sticks to truth. Then the dharma for creativity. In creativity, as you know very well these days, with money people are standing on their heads, or I don't know what they are doing, because the amount of nonsense they are producing all over the world in the name of modernism is no way is Kaladhar. No way. Then we have also what we call politics. Raj, Karan, Dharma. This also dharma is there. Now, taking bribes, the kind of things that are going on. Corruption, all kinds of things that are going on, competition and fighting and all that. They are falling from their dharma of Rajkaran. Education, same thing. We call it Shiksha. All such things are dharmas. There's a kind of a principle which we have to keep. Otherwise, we can topple down from the lotus. And that's what happens. Now we have also Rashtra Dharma. The Rashtra Dharma is that your country. There's a dharma of your Rashtra. When you have to fight for your country, you should, but you should not be aggressive on other countries, not try to dominate other countries, nor you should bring bad name to your country. It's very important. Sahajayogis have all these intact. Absolutely. Because you are standing on the lotuses already. You don't have this problem. Normally, no. Once in a while there are people who behave like that. But mostly Sahajogis don't fall into these traps. That's why their Lakshmi Tattva will definitely improve. They'll have little problems here and there. But without problems, if you get Lakshmi, you will not have value for it. So with little problems, you get the Lakshmi. But Lakshmi doesn't give you all this imbalance. Such a man has to be extremely balanced, because beyond that is the step of Mahalakshmi, where your seeking starts, where you become a seeker. You go beyond Lakshmi principle, and this Mahalakshmi principle starts coming into it. I would say in the Western countries this consumerism has started. And it's such a funny one. In America, one lady was married to an Indian, and he used to tell me how this consumerism works. I said, how? He said, I gave my wife money to buy 2 shirts for me because I had no shirts. So she went and bought 5 skirts. So I said, you have so many skirts, why did you buy the skirts? Because in this money I could buy 5 skirts instead of 2 shirts. So I bought 5 skirts. So he said, I can't wear skirts. So how should I correct her? He said, I said, you do one thing, tell her I want to buy some skirts for her, and go and buy 5 shirts. Then she will realize that if the money was given to her for one purpose, should be used for her. This is a very subtle principle which I follow because I don't understand money. So what I do, whatever money I get, I put packets. This is for these, this is for these, this is for this, into packets. But I don't understand, and I don't write accounts, I'm very bad at all that. Somebody else does that. Now, if I spend some money from one pocket for some emergency, then I again fill it back. It's written there. So much is there, so much is there. So the money is available at the right time for whatever I want to do, and the money is in the packet. It is not in the sort of a open thing that I can just want to buy a Mercedes, I want to buy a Rolls Royce. No, nothing doing. It is for something, some purpose. And there is no need. So when you go to the shop and you see something, you won't buy, because that money is not kept for that particular thing. For Sahajogis, it is very easy to handle their money with respect. So you go to any shop, you won't buy anything. But my nature also is spontaneous. So I went to Frankfurt, changing. They said, Mother, there's a very nice watch shop. I just thought I am going to get 3 son-in-laws, and what will I give them? So I went to that shop, and I found such beautiful, beautiful things. But I had not kept any money for the watch. But I said, I must buy. One of the watches turned out to be a very unique one, I must tell you, which is no more available. Because of my eyes. I saw this something unique. And my son-in-law is so overwhelmed. So quite rich, he has no problems. But he said, this watch you cannot get. Then an article came about that particular watch. So he's kept it with him. You see, so to have something, it should have a value behind it. That is the dharma part. Value behind it. What is the value? When you want to buy something, just don't buy because you are mad. I mean, instead of shirts, you buy skirts. Not that way. But anything that has an artistic value or some special value, then you should buy that. Now this sari I am wearing, it has a special value. Why? Not that it is made with hands, is a very beautiful design it has. No. This was made in a place called Paitan, which was the capital of a kingdom which belonged to my forefathers, Shalivanas. And these saris were made there, Paitan. And they used to sell it to people. Now they have become expensive. In those days they were cheap. Now it has that value. They are very honest, very religious. They were called Shalivanas because they used to give shawl to the goddess. They spread their kingdom very much, and also there is a calendar in their name. But the kind of life they led, they were just very generous people, and they have made beautiful temples, beautiful places for people to rest near the river. I mean, so many beautiful things they have done. Apart from that, Rama and Sita, when they went to Dandakaranya, they went to this place, and you have the place where Sita took her bath, a bathing place. There's a little river flowing. That's how it was covered from all the side and how the light was coming. So beautiful. But whatever Rama had done, they redecorated it with the Rajput style art. Then also there was a very beautiful temple I saw that they had made. Also I don't know how there was some water flowing. And there was Shri, Mahadeva's a big thing, Pinda, very big. And also there was a Parvati's statue, so old as that. I don't know if it was put by Rama or by my my own, you can call them the great grandparents. But the beauty about that place, that it shows that Sita used to worship Mahadeva. The water was flowing somehow by nature inside up there in a stream, and she used to take the water and put it on that wood. How deep these people were. Those who built the temple, such a beautiful temple they have built. See, so many temples are built like this in India by people who had money. And they believed that if you spend your money in this kind of work, you are blessed. I bought a land near the river Nira. That's my home name, Nira. And this land, I just bought it just like that without thinking. And what they told that their guru, Shalivahana's guru was Shandilya. And this place belonged to him long time back, which was an ashram of Shandilya. Exactly the same. And that land I bought, very surprising. Then in the newspaper it came out everything about that land. And this land was the place where a great devotee of Sri Vishnu, Prahlada, was playing. So you must have heard about Prahlad. His mother had a husband in a long time. Hiranyakashipu was her husband, horrible Rakshasa. So she ran away from there, and who helped was Indra. He brought this lady to the place of Guru Shandilya. And Shandilya told him, Indra, that you don't put any effort for her, I'll look after her. And the child that is going to be born to this lady is going to get the avatar of Narsimha. You know, Narsimha is the man and the lion. He said, how can that be? He said, it is. So Indra left her there. The child was born. Till 5 years that child used to play in that grand land which I have got. But I didn't know about it, but I was surprised. But when the child grew up to 5 years, he had to go back to his father. I don't know how many of you read about Prahlada. Raise your hands, I would like to know. The little boy Prahlad, upar karo, let me see, who was killed and his father tried to kill him and torture him. But he had certain boons, so Shri Vishnu appeared as Narasimha, means the lion and the human form. And then he killed this Hiranyakashipu, the father. Now imagine how much big it was that thousands of years back this must have happened, and that I should purchase that land. And there is a very beautiful temple built about 300 years back by Maharashtrians. So the story is that Prahlada came into the dream of the people who wanted to build the temple and told them that I have already made the statue of Narasimha along the river Nera. Imagine, the name of the river is also mine. And if you can walk along the banks of Nera river, very close to the temple, I have made the statue in sand. It's a miracle. So they went there and they saw that statue. They brought it back and installed it in that temple. It's still there, made of sand. Also they say there's a kind of a river or a water flow up to very small one, just like the finger, flows down from the top, God knows how. So, now see the value. The value of money which was collected to build this temple had such an old value. So the value is not money. This one should understand. What is the value of the thing? You want to give to something to others, then the feelings you have in your heart is the value, and that value is the real Lakshmi. When you are, say, building a house, the plans you make, the things you do, what is the idea behind and what you are trying to express through that house is the value of that house. Once you understand that you have to buy with this Lakshmi, or you have to use this Lakshmi for certain value and not for showing off or for money. This superficialness that we have about money itself is like an ordinary glass. But if you put behind the glass the mercury, you can see the value. So, when you start buying something, what is the purpose? Why are you buying? This will determine the value. Like last time I came to Portugal. I said, we'll go and buy some terracotta, but they're very expensive. I said, this is the price. But I wanted to buy terracotta from Portugal because it's very rich in that. So we went to one factory. And the factory was quite far out. None of them could find out, but I told them it's here only, just go and see. And then we bought the terracotta. But on our way, I told, stop here, stop. So they stopped. There was a shop. I had to buy some things for Sahajayogis in India and also for some people in Kabela. And that shop had such beautiful cottons. They were Sahajayogis from here who sought. Such beautiful clothes. I bought a lot of it. I said, thank God, the problem presents are finished now for it. So joy-giving it was. Everybody was surprised. Why suddenly in a place where never have been mother there, suddenly she finds. It has a value because I wanted to buy something for Indians to be given as present. So if your Lakshmi is say this much, once you add to it value, it becomes so. The sign of a person who is Lakshmipati is this. He should have a house like the lotus in the hands of the goddess. He should protect people who are depending on him. And from the left hand, he should give. This is the image of the Lakshmi. This is what the Lakshmi is within you. If you have these four things in balance, without conditioning, without ego, then you are a Sahajayoga. Otherwise, you are not. On a Diwali day, we have to promise ourselves that whatever we are going to get now as Lakshmi principle or as a Lakshmi's prasad should be used in getting things which has value. And thus you will learn that you have used your Lakshmi very well. And with that, your Mahalakshmi principle will become very strong. Will become very strong, by which you'll ascend very fast. Today is the day for us to celebrate the Lakshmi Puja. But Lakshmi Puja doesn't mean that you worship money. Money as it is the most dangerous thing. And I think it is the hidden weapon of Lakshmi Devi. See, if you try to misuse her, she goes on punching with it. With one punch, if you don't realize, then she gives you another punch, like that. Then she might little bit twist to suggest. She'll try everything to convince you that what you are doing is nonsense. Ultimately, she sees your destruction complete. So Lakshmi, though she is the one who is a giver of boons, giver of everything, you should not be misled by her Mahamaya character. I am your mother, so I better tell you to be very careful. Thank you very much. The wind has stopped.
Ganesha's mantras. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Ganesha-misha-nandanam Ekadanta-bhakratundra-nagaya-yasutrakam Kaptakantram Dhumra-netra-shukla-vastra-manditam Kalpa-vruksha-bhakta-rakshnamostu-te gajananam. Pani Chakrapani Sahajayoga Agnikoti Surya Jyoti Vajra Jyoti Nirmala Pashapani Chakrapani Mushakadi Rohinam Agnikoti Surya Jyoti Vajra Jyoti Nirmala Chitramala Bhakti Jala Bala Chandra Shomitam Kalpa Vruksha Bhakta Rakshna Mostu Dega Janana. Ganesha-misha-nandanam Ekadanta-bhakratundra-nagaya-yasutrakam Raktagantra-dhumra-netra-shukla-vastra-manditam Kalpa-vruksha-bhakta-rakshnamostu-te gajananam. काव्य प्रभुर्भागवर्षितम् विद्यमाने कालचाल लोकपालवन्दिता भूतभाव्य हाव्य काव्य प्रभुर्भागवर्षितम् विद्यमाने कालचाल लोकपालवन्दितम् पूर्ण ब्रह्म सूर्यवर्ण पुरुषं पुरान्तकम् कल्पवृक्ष भक्तरश्नमोऽस्तु ते गजानना
So now each leader from a given country will read one of the name of Shri Lakshmi. I will start, I will mention the name, and then we can take all the mantras together. The first name is Shri Adya Lakshmi, which is an invocation to Adi Shakti in the Lakshmi form. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adya Lakshmi Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah.
Now we will invoke the knowledge through Shri Vidya Lakshmi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vidya Lakshmi Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha.
The Devi of good fortune, Shri Saubhagya Lakshmi.
The Devi as grace of spirit, Shri Amruta Lakshmi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Amruta Lakshmi Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi.
The quality of the wife, Shri Gua Lakshmi.
The Queen, Shri Raja Lakshmi.
Awareness of truth, Sri Satya Lakshmi.
The Lakshmi in her form as the enjoyer, Shri Bhogya Lakshmi.
Giver of yoga, Shri Yoga Lakshmi. The power of evolution, Shri Mahalakshmi. This is the prayer to Shri Santana Lakshmi. You are the one who rides on an elephant. You are extremely attractive. You have the chakra in your hand. You have no anger. You are full of knowledge. You are the good-natured one. You always wish good for the whole world. You are the seven sounds. We praise you by singing the seven swaras. Everybody good and bad, all the devas and munis and also the humans, they all praise your lotus feet.
Prayer to Shri Raja Lakshmi. Victory to the destroyer of all our miseries. You are the one who loves us. You are the giver of all the fruits of our prayers. Chariots, elephants, horses, and food servants. It's a total congregation of all the people. The world bows down to you. The Lords Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma worship you and serve you. You lift the sadness of people who are in extreme sorrow. They come to your feet. O Shri Raja Lakshmi, thou who art the giver of health and prosperity, Shri Mataji, Nirmala Devi, I bow to thee. You rule over me.
Seven married ladies from the hosting countries that have not yet been to the Puja with Shri Mataji. 7 dames mariées des pays qui organisent ce Puja et qui n'en sont pas encore allées au pied de Shri Mataji pour un Puja. Vous pouvez y aller maintenant. 7 dames mariées.
Maharagi,
Jai Mataji,
He Bakarya Samudya,
Jai Mataji,
He Mata Kula,
Jai Mataji,
Viju Grandi Vibadini,
Jai Mataji,
He Mata Bhavani,
Jai Mataji,
He Mata Gitiya,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Bhakti Gamiya,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Sharmadaini,
Jai Mataji,
Devi Niradhara,
Jai Mataji,
Mata Niranjana,
Jai Mataji,
Mata Nilepa,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Mahashakti,
Jai Mataji,
Mata Nirmala,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Nishkalanka,
Jai Mataji,
He Mata Nitya,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Nirakara,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Nirakula,
Jai Mataji,
Mata Nirguna Nirmala, Mata Nirguna Nirmala, Me Pura Nirakara Samaya, He Jago Savera, Aya He Mata Ne Jagaya, Oh Jago Aya He Mata Ne Jagaya, He Sahasra Kamal Jalu Nirmala Mata, Sahasra Kamal Jalu Nirmala Mata, Ne Darbar Lagaya, He Jago Savera, Aya He Mata Ne Jagaya, Oh Jago Savera, Aya He Mata Ne Jagaya, He Mata Nishkala,
Jai Mataji,
Mata Nishkama,
Jai Mataji,
Mani Rupa Palva,
Jai Mataji,
He Nitya Mukta,
Jai Mataji,
Mani Nirvikara,
Jai Mataji,
Mani Rashraya,
Jai Mataji,
Mani Nirantara,
Jai Mataji,
Mani Nishkarana,
Jai Mataji,
Mani Rupadi,
Jai Mataji,
Mani Rizvara,
Jai Mataji,
He Mata Niraga,
Jai Mataji,
Mata Nirmada,
Jai Mataji,
Mata Nishinda,
Jai Mataji,
He Nirahankara, Mata Nirmoha, He Mata Nirmama,
Jai Mataji,
He Devi Nishpapa,
Jai Mataji,
He Nishamsaya Devi Ma, He Nishamsaya Devi Ma, Tune Sara Sara Jagaya, He Jago Savera, Aya He Mata Ne Jagaya, He Oh Jago Savera, Aya He Mata Ne Jagaya, He Mata Nirbhava,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Nirvikalpa, He Nirabada,
Jai Mataji,
He Ma Niranasha,
Jai Mataji,
Mata Nishkriya,
Jai Mataji,
He Nishparigraha,
Jai Mataji,
Mata Nistula,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Nilachikura,
Jai Mataji,
He Devi Nirpaya,
Jai Mataji,
Devi Niradhyaya,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Jagjanani,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Sukha Prada,
Jai
Ma
Mataji,
Sandra Karuna,
Jai
Ma
Mataji,
Mahadevi,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Mahapuja,
Jai Mataji,
Mahapataknashini,
Jai Mataji,
He Mahashakti,
Jai Mataji,
He Mahamaya,
Jai Mataji,
Apke Karan Maharati, Apke Karan Maharati, Manav ne khud ko paya hai, Jago Savera, Aya hai, Mata Ne Jagaya hai, Oh Jago Savera, Aya hai, Mata Ne Jagaya hai, He Vishwarupa,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Padmasana,
Jai Mataji,
He Mata Bhagati,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Rakshakari,
Jai Mataji,
He Rakshasagni,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Parameshvari,
Jai Mataji,
He Nityavana,
Jai Mataji,
He Punyalabhya,
Jai Mataji,
He Hanchitarupa,
Jai Mataji,
Devi Parashakti,
Jai Mataji,
Ma Guru Murti,
Jai Mataji,
He Adishakti Ma,
Jai Mataji,
Devi Yogada,
Jai Mataji,
He Kakini, He Uttaradya, Banasugagati, He Devi Raja, Sachitanandana Rupini Ma, Sachitanandana Rupini Ma, Tune Moksha Karat dikhaya hai, Jago Sabera आया है, माता ने जगाया है, हो जागो सवेरा आया है, माता ने जगाया है, हो सहस्र कमल दल निर्मल माता, सहस्र कमल दल निर्मल माता ने दरबार लगाया है, जागो सवेरा आया है, माता ने जगाया है, ओ जागो सवेरा आया है, माता ने जगाया है, हे माँ शुभकारी, हे माता चांदिका, माँ त्रिगुणात्मिका, हे माता महाती, माँ प्राणरूपिणी, माँ परमाणु, माँ भाषहात्री, हे वीर माता, माता गंभीरा, हे देवी गर्भिता, शिव प्रसादिनी, हे सुधा श्रुति, हे धर्मधारा, हे विश्वरूपा, मेरी मदस्ता, बाबा मधुरा, हे धीर समर्चिता, माँ परमुदारा, माता सरस्वती देवी तूने, माता सरस्वती देवी तूने सबको पार लगाया है, जागो सवेरा आया है, माता ने जगाया है, ओ जागो सवेरा आया है, माता ने जगाया है, ओ सहस्र कमल दल निर्मल माता, सहस्र कमल दल निर्मल माता ने दरबार लगाया है, जागो सवेरा आया है, माता ने जगाया है, ओ जागो सवेरा आया है, माता ने जगाया है, Malokadita, Jai Mata, Jai Shamarmika, Jai Mata, Malila Vinodini, Jai Mata, Ma Shri Sadashiva, Jai Mata, Ma Pushi Devi, Jai Mata, Ma Chandraniba, Jai Mata, He Bhavikaukya, He Pavakresti, Jai Mata, Ma Vishvagarva, Jai Mata, He Shakti, Jai Mata, Ma Vishvasakshini, Jai Mata, Ma Vimala Devi, Jai Mata, Ma Varada Devi, Jai Mata, He Mata Vilasini, He Mata Vijaya, Sahajayoga Nintam Tam Daini, Bandaru Janavasala, Bandaru Janavasala, Tune Moksha ka pata dikhaya hai, Jago Savera आया है, माता ने जगाया है, ओ जागो सवेरा आया है, माता ने जगाया है, Hindi 67 Vishva Vandita.
Sarvasa
दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना जय निर्मल माता जी जय निर्मल माता जी दिल में सदा रहना माँ सबको दुआ देना सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना जय निर्मल माता जी जय निर्मल माता जी दिल में सदा रहना माँ सबको दुआ देना जग में संकट काल